Master this one recipe and you are set for desserts and brunches forever. And I have got a great trick to make it that much easier. Hi, I'm Tansey. I believe that everyone can cook, and I'm here to share my go-to recipes that will make your cooking that much more easy, fun, and delicious. Today, I am making buttery scones. Now, these are flaky and delicious. They're also endlessly customizable. You can do almost whatever you want with them. So let's make them plain, and then we'll talk about some options. It starts with some flour, just 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And I always measure my flour using a digital scale, but don't worry, you can always check the recipe. There will be grams and there will also be cups there for you. So 2 cups of flour is 300 grams. And you could certainly use half whole wheat here. No problem. Close enough. Now these are baking powder biscuits, so I better add some baking powder. It takes quite a bit, it takes about a tablespoon. Just mix that right in. And as with all baking, you need some salt. Now I always use salted butter, but I'm gonna add a pinch of salt as well. And that just makes all of the flavors come together. It's not necessarily gonna taste salty, but it's gonna let all the other flavors really be themselves at their loudest and proudest and best. So at this point, you can add some sugar if you like. Now these scones can either be sweet or savory. I'm gonna make them sweet today, so I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar. That can go up to 5 or it can go down to 0, your choice. And that's the dry ingredients. So I'll just mix this together. Now for the butter. Buttery scones take butter. And here's that genius trick I was gonna tell you about. You take your butter cold out of the fridge or freezer and you grate it on your cheese grater. Check it out. So instead of having to fuss with my fingers and work at making this the most perfect little pieces of butter, the grater does it all for me. Just try not to grate your own fingers. All right, I'm just going to mix the butter in with the flour there. Nicely mixed in so that all those little pieces of butter separate from each other and get all nicely coated in the flour mixture. If you wanted to make these cheese scones, you could add some grated strong cheddar at this point. If you wanted to make them raisin scones, you could add raisins right now. Lots and lots of options. All that butter is now coated in flour. You can almost not see it. Oh, but you're gonna taste it. All right, so I just need to add enough milk to make this into a batter. I've measured out a cup of milk, but I'm only gonna add half of it at first. And then stir. Flour really changes depending on the seasons, the temperature, and some days it wants more milk added and other days it wants less. So of course it's always easy to add, but it's almost impossible to take it away. All right, that definitely needs more. I think that's pretty good. I'll just scrape down this spoon and then transfer this to the counter to roll it out. Just dump this right on the counter. Get everything out of there. Any last little bits of flour so that the bowl's pretty much empty. And then I'm kind of gonna knead this into a ball. Don't worry too much about overworking it. It shouldn't really take too much effort to get the whole dough to come together into a fairly cohesive lump. There we go. Now I can still see lots of shreds of butter in there, and that is perfect. All right, grab the rolling pin. I'm gonna just roll this out, not too thinly, but into a nice circle. All right, I'm gonna cut this into wedges. Now, some people like to use a cookie cutter so that they have perfectly round scones, but I don't like to waste those little bits of dough, so I'm just gonna cut it into wedges. Big scones? Yeah, let's make big ones. Nice big scones. Now these are great to serve for brunch with jam, or you can fill them with strawberries and cream for dessert. Lots of options there. All right, I'm gonna transfer this to my parchment lined baking sheet here. There. Now there's a little bit of milk left in my pitcher, so I'm going to paint the tops of the scones with a little bit of milk just to give them a kind of a golden top. Could that have been any easier? My goodness, so quick. Into a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. The scones have been in for about 17 minutes. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, they're beautiful and brown on the bottom. And they smell absolutely incredible. Oh. These are the flakiest, butteriest scones you will ever make, and they're so easy, and you can do so many things with them. I would serve these for brunch with scrambled eggs. I would serve them with tea. You know what? I might even just eat one straight up right now. Oh, ow, that was hot. Beautiful. Now, just a little bit of butter. And some of my homemade jam. Flaky, buttery scones. I have nothing else to say. So there you have it, flaky, buttery scones that are as versatile as they are delicious. For the full recipe, click in the link below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of the great recipes that are coming up. And if you love baking, check out these recipes as well. And don't forget, life is complicated. Cooking shouldn't be. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. Happy cooking. Whoa.